Hello and welcome. In this lesson, we want to see how simple interest and compound interest is calculated. It might look simple, but it might be complicated if you keep on varying the duration over which the interest is calculated. Simple interest is very easy because in this simple interest, only what you want to do is take the duration over which you want to calculate the interest, then we will multiply it with the principal amount times the rate, and most of the time it is the percentage. There is only simple formula for it and it is easy to calculate. But when it comes to compound interest, things are difficult because after each interest period is over, the next interest will be calculated by taking the original principal plus any interest which was earned in the previous period, making it complicated. So I'm going to describe how to calculate the two mathematically, then I will help you to design in MS Excel a simple sheet which you will just be dragging down, and the formula is recalculated over any period of time you want, even if it is 10 years, 20 years, in a simple way. So let's go ahead and look at the two interests mathematically before we switch to Excel to use computer to make it easier to calculate. Now let us start with our simple interest here. So in simple interest, we are going to use this formula. A represents the total amount. Okay, this is the total amount. That means any interest which is accumulated plus the original amount which was invested. This is very common, especially for people who invest in banks, where you can deposit a certain amount which we call principal. Then you wait for like 3 years. By the time you are withdrawing it, you should be able to earn your original amount plus any accumulated interest. So in simple interest, amount is taken and we equate it to the principal. This is the original amount somebody has deposited with us. Let us just assume we are just a deposit-taking institution, and we take deposit or principal from somebody. Then after some years, we will be able to give that person back the investment. It could be also calculated by insurance companies or any other investment companies. So in simple interest, final amount which somebody will receive is obtained by taking the principal amount somebody has invested multiplied by the duration. You'll agree whether the interest is calculated per year, so the duration or the period will be in years. If you agree quarterly, it means after every 3 months you calculate the simple interest. If you agree in 2 quarters, it means every half and year they will be calculated. But most of the arrangements involve annual arrangements where after 1 year, that is when it is calculated and somebody given back the investment in his or her account. Now, in simple interest, we will take principal, which is the amount invested by somebody, the original amount invested by someone, multiplied by the rate. And this rate can be 5%, 10%. We will have to divide it by 100. If it is 5%, we'll divide it by 100. So here we'll just have a number with decimal places here. Then we will have to multiply it by duration. it depends how people will agree. If it is per year, then it will be in years. If it is per quarter, it will mean 3 months. So this is very simple and straightforward, and there's nothing difficult here. Let us just do one example for you to be able to understand. Now, assuming our principal amount is 1,000 bucks, and it is being invested at the rate of 5% per annum over a duration of 5 years. Okay, so in this case, then the final amount which will be given to the investor will simply mean we take our 1,000 bucks, we multiply it by 5, divide by 100, then we multiply it by the number of years. Okay, and in this case, I will be able to get the final amount for the investment, which should be 1,000 times 0.05 times 5. Doing quick mathematics here, I will get, I think I will get, with simple mathematics here, I will get 50 times 5, which is 250. As the interest. But now I will have to add the original principal, which is 1,000. So that one will finally give me 1,250 as the final amount to be earned by the investor after a duration of 5 years. And the interest earned is 250, and the original amount was 1,000, giving us 1,250. This is as simple as you may see it, like that. Straightforward, there's no problem with that. It will be easy to implement this by just putting this equation in the Excel, and things will work out properly. Now let us go to compound interest. And in our compound interest, things will be challenging here because we are going to use a complicated formula for it. Now in compound interest, this is what we are going to do. So accumulated amount in the compound interest is given by, here there is a very complicated formula. You take the principal, then you multiply it by 1 plus the rate divided by 100. Okay, so we take our rate and we multiply it by, we take our rate, we add it to 1. Okay, but remember, if it is 5%, it means you write 5 over 100. Then the whole of these things in the bracket, they are being raised to the number of periods in which it is calculated. So we raise this to maybe n. Okay, so this means whatever is in this bracket will be raised to the power of n, and n represents the duration. If it is 3 years, we will raise here to the power of 3. This is how we calculate compound interest. You can see it is not easy. So if you have to do it manually, getting compound interest is very challenging and it will take you a lot of time. So let us go ahead and assume our original amount invested is 1,000 bucks, and the rate at which it is invested is 5% per annum, and the investor is investing in a duration of 5 years. Okay, duration of 5 years. Now looking at this, we can go ahead and do it. Now here in MS Excel, I will have here, let me just write here principal. Okay, so we will be putting our principal here. Let me add the borders, and this principal can be in any denomination, and let me put here rate. This will be a percentage, of course, and finally let me write here duration. I'm assuming it is years, but it will depend with the arrangement. Now after that, we will calculate both simple interest and compound interest, and we compare how things will look. Now let me start here by writing here simply amount after simple interest. Amount after simple interest. Then I have here amount after compound interest. So let's go ahead and assume here we are investing 1,000 bucks. Our rate is 5% in a duration of 5 years. As simple as that. So this is what we will do. For the simple interest, we will have our years here. And we are going to list all of them. You can list 3, then you just drag down this formula handle. You can even, let us just make it until 10 years. Okay. So here we will have our amount. Let me put borders for it to look attractive. Same box, I'm going to use it on the other side. Let me just copy this and paste it here. And do a bit of decoration here and there. This one I can give them a bold text. So let's go ahead and make Excel formulas to calculate what we want. So the first thing to do is to come here. This is the first period. These are periods. Second period, it can be annual or quarterly, but ours in this case is years. So at the beginning of the period, at the end of the first period, our simple interest will be calculated by taking the principal amount plus the same principal amount. Okay. Now I want to put a bracket here. Before I put bracket, let me put dollar signs here to make this reference absolute. When I'm dragging down, I don't want the reference to shift to the next cell below it. So I have to fix the reference using these dollar signs. So I will simply pick my original amount plus the interest at the end of the first period. So my original amount is in C2, and my interest is calculated by taking this original amount in C2 times my rate is 5%. So I'm going to put over 100. I'm going to put it over 100. And also I don't want, when I'm dragging down here, I don't want it to leave this rate in C3. So I will make it absolute with the dollar signs like that. Yeah. Then times duration. And my duration is in B8. B8. Now this one will be able to, when I'm dragging down the formula, it will be able to be updating and reading. My duration, sorry, is in A8. So this one will be variable. As we drag down, the duration will be changing. In the second period, it will calculate with 2. In the third period, it will calculate with 3. So pressing enter, I am getting at the end of the first period, my principal amount plus interest will be 1,050, meaning the interest is 50. Now dragging it down to the fifth year, you can see it is 1,250, the way we calculated it mathematically. I can extend this to the 10th year. So you can, if you want the investment to be after 4 years, you just read here and you tell the client you will earn 1,200 and 200. If he or she will invest for a period of 7 years, he or she will be able to get 350, like that. You can drag this even over a period of 20 years. Now coming to our compound interest, this is the formula. The amount is obtained by taking our principal amount. Let me make it absolute, so that when I drag, it doesn't shift. Multiply by, open my brackets, 1 plus my rate. So my rate is 5. So I'm reading the reference and making it absolute. so that the reference does not shift to the next cell when we are dragging the formula. Remember, this rate you have to divide by 100 like that. So 1 plus r over 100. Then I will close that bracket. And remember, this content of the bracket must be raised to the power of the duration. So I will put the symbol for raising into power, and we will put the duration. My duration is in E8. So I will just click here E8, just like that. Then to be more accurate, I want to put the whole of this in a single bracket, following the BODMAS rules, like that. So pressing enter, I am getting my compound interest in the first year is similar as that one of the simple interest, but let's see after 5 years what do we have. Okay, it is different. After 5 years, here we earn 250 as interest, here we will earn 276. And over the period of 10 years, you can see the person who is investing on compound interest is earning better than the person who is investing in simple interest. That is how simple it is. Now you can even adjust here, maybe to 5,000 bucks at the interest of 10, and you can see the rest is recalculated automatically. That is the beauty of using spreadsheet like MS Excel. That is how simple it is. Go ahead and try this. Consider subscribing, especially if you haven't, so that each time I post a video, we are together. You are posted. Also like, subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.